Hello everyone, Tim Taylor here. Purpose of this video is to go over a few basic things about Google Drive and then show you how you can create a Google document within Google Drive and then share it. And so I just want to go over some basics here. First thing I'm going to do is talk a little bit about Drive. And Google Drive is one of the Google Apps for Education applications. It is online storage. I guess the one application that comes to mind that's comparable to Google Drive is Dropbox. Has been pretty popular in the past. But Google Drive is a place where you can create folders, and you're looking here at my current Google Drive. As you can see, I have a lot of folders here that I've created. Then within these folders, I have various files. Some files I have outside of actual folders. But what's nice about a Google Apps for Education account is unlimited storage. A few years ago, it was limited to 30 gig, but now it is unlimited. And you can store all types of files. It's not like you have to only store Google related documents, but you can store Office documents, Word documents, PowerPoints, Excel files, etc., PDF documents. You can store videos, images, etc. So I store everything on Google Drive. Advantages of using Google Drive is all I need then is a device that has internet connection. I can log into my account and I can access my files. If I was to save my files just locally on a computer, then for example, if I did that here at work and I went home, I wouldn't have access to my files. So what's nice about putting them on the cloud, which is the same thing as using Google Drive, I can go home, log into my Google account, and all the files I see here I can also see at home. But any device I can do that. It's very, very easy to create folders in Google Drive. You have this little new button right here, just basically drives everything. If I click on new, I can create a new folder. I click here, I can easily name the folder, and then once I create a folder, I can create folders within folders. The other thing that's nice is if you have a folder or a file locally on a drive, you can easily just click these buttons right here, okay, and you can go out and access. I'll pull this window here. That's right here, and here's a PowerPoint. Okay, here's a PDF. So I can select any files that I want, click open, and upload it directly into my drive. A few basic options about Drive. If I go over here to my gear and I go to settings, one thing that can happen is there's a convert uploads option. Notice there's not a whole lot of options here in the settings. If I check this box, another thing about Drive is it's also the same thing as having like a built-in suite of applications, just like you think about Microsoft Office, where you have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. You'll see here in a minute that Drive also has these capabilities. So if I check this box right here, what it will do is it will take, for example, Word, and convert it into a Google Doc, which is the word processing version for Google. If I bring up a PowerPoint, it would automatically convert a PowerPoint into something called Google Slides, which is the slides is comparable to PowerPoint in Office. Google has something called Sheets, which is comparable to Excel and Office. So if I check that box, it automatically does that. I don't have that checked because sometimes I want to keep those kind of documents, those Office documents in their native format. Once you get them in here, you can convert them if you want to very, very easily. And that's something that we can share later on. But right now, I just want you to be aware that you can very easily store things here on Drive. Again, the biggest thing is it's a couple of nice things. It's unlimited storage, and plus also you can access your files anywhere you have internet access. Now, as I just pointed out, besides you have your storage here, and you have other things here on the left-hand side. We're going to show you how you can share things. That's part of your assignment for this week. I'm going to show you how you can share things. And one way you can tell if a folder is being shared with someone or being shared with me is you'll see like a little torso icon on the folder. So that means, for example, this folder right here, I'm actually is being shared with me, and the person that made that folder is Rebecca Cooper, a music teacher in our division. So you can create these folders, and one powerful thing about Drive is I can then share folders with specific people. I can open up to the public, anyone can access it. So the sharing capabilities within files and folders in Drive is another powerful aspect of it. Going back to my new button here, I pointed out about the folders and how you can upload files and folders that you have locally. Like I mentioned, Drive is also like having your own Office suite, but it's not. It's similar, but it doesn't have all the bells and whistle, the applications within Google like you have in your Microsoft Office. Some find that is beneficial, others find it as a hindrance. But your Google Docs is similar to Word, as I mentioned. Sheets is like Excel, Slides is like PowerPoint. If I go down here to more, I also have forms, which you're going to be doing. Have an opportunity to create a form later. Forms are awesome. I love them. There's also a drawing application called Google Drawings. There's also My Maps, where you can create maps. We're going to get into that later on in the course. And you have different other little add-ons you can add here, but I'm going to go into details. There are actually templates you can pick from as well. But to go ahead now and go to your next thing we want to do in Drive here, we're going to go ahead and create a Google Doc, because that's part of the assignment for the course here for this week. So if I go ahead and go to New and I click on Google Docs, what it will do is it will go ahead and create a brand new document for me. And notice you can tell it looks like a similar word processing application. The philosophy with Google compared to Microsoft, the best way to explain it is this way. Whenever you buy the Office suite, and let's just look at Word, since we're looking at a word processing document now. Microsoft's philosophy is when you use their Office suite, you basically get all the bells and whistles within Word and PowerPoint, Excel, etc. I dare say that most of you all probably use 10% of what those applications are capable of. I was a certified master instructor for Office, and the exams I had to take, it was unbelievable what Word could do, and PowerPoint and Excel and Access, all those things. But I dare say the most typical users, you just don't use all those bells and whistles. Majority of us are going to center some things, change the font, change the color. We may put a table in there. We'll be adding some images, adding some hyperlinks. Those are very basic things that Google can do. Google's philosophy is they're going to give us just a basic word processor, basic application to create slides, spreadsheets, etc. And if you want to then add more bells and whistles, they have something called add-ons, which we're going to look at more in the future, where you can add on these add-ons, as they're called, to give you more functionality. I've already done that. So Google's more basic. Microsoft is like they put all the bells and whistles on there. All right. So again, you won't see as many options as you might see if you're like in Word, but again, I think it'll cover most of what you want to do. In your Office suite, or if you're in Word, you'll see some shortcuts here to various options. You can choose your fonts here. You can choose your font size. Again, most of y'all are very familiar with this. You got your bold, italic, etc. Here you have your colors. One's for text. You can actually click here, then do highlighting of text, and back and forth. And here's your little hyperlink tool. We'll look at that here in a little bit. Here's your left centering. So very, very similar. You got your bullets numbering system here. You may see a few more here along your menus, and there's some things we'll point out here that again kind of sets Google separately from some things you can do in the Microsoft applications. But again, you can see some options right here. What you need to do for your assignment is pretty simple. I went to File and New, and what it does default is it names it an untitled document. For your assignment, you're going to be telling a little bit about yourself. So what you want to do is go ahead and type your first and last name to name your document. So that's the first thing you need to do. What you're going to do then is in that document, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Just do a few paragraphs. You don't need to write a book. If you, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs, a little bit about yourself. For the sake of time, I've already created a document, and that's the first thing I want to point out is kind of unique when it comes down to creating a Google document. if you were doing something in Word and you tried to create a new file with the exact same name as something that already exists, you go to save it, it's going to say, hey, you already got a file name this. Do you want to replace it or do you want to rename it? Google's not going to give you that option. In other words, I can create, 100 files named Tim Taylor. So there's, again, sometimes that kind of gets some people in trouble because me teaching this class, I might have 13 Tim Taylor documents just because of going through this class and showing it to people. So sometimes when people go into Drive, then they look up their Tim Taylor document. I might find 13 in there and say, oh no, which one do I want? I can easily tell the most latest one I've done because what it does, it puts a little time stamp to the right and I can tell when it was done. But just be aware when you go to create documents, it's not going to warn you if like, hey, you already got one named that. So sometimes people end up with the same document 4 or 5 times. So kind of keep track of that. And that's another reason I think it's very, very important that you create folders and do a good job of keeping things organized that way. So I'm going to go and close this out. I basically have 2 Tim Taylors, but what I've already done is just for the sake of time, I've already typed some things here. Now, the other thing you can do besides just tell us a little bit about yourself here in text, what I want you to do then is don't be afraid to go ahead and add some hyperlinks. I've mentioned here about my 2 daughters. One of them goes to UVA. So if I highlight this, I might want to go and put a link to UVA here. So I just highlight the text and I go up here to insert the hyperlink. And notice one thing it does, what's great about Google is looking at this text, it automatically suggests some websites for me. So look right here. That's the University of Virginia. There's the URL for it. So I just click on that, hit apply, and right away I've got a hot link, a hyperlink to UVA that you can click. And one thing about with Google, you need to click and then click here to actually go to the website. So it's very good about helping you find URLs to sites. If I want to go ahead and put a link then to Ole Miss, a highlight, click on the hyperlink tool. Again, what it does, boom, great job, finds University of Mississippi. I can click on it, hit apply. I've already added 2 hyperlinks. The other thing that would be nice is that maybe I want to come down here and I want to insert an image I may have of my family, or maybe with my school division. If I go to my insert menu here, the first thing is image. Notice there's a lot of ways I can insert an image. I can upload, choose an image to upload locally from my computer. I can actually take a snapshot via my webcam. If you do by URL, if I know a URL to an image out on the web. I have albums here I might be able to check through. I can go to my Google Drive. All right, here I can go through Drive, and what I can do is I can actually type. If I know, for example, I'm going to type girls. I don't know if I got one here for my girls that I might have saved. Okay, and here's some old pictures here that associate. And again, what they do is it also might tag something, an image if it's related to a folder I might have in girls, etc. If I click here and hit select, this is actually a picture of my girls here, and it's just a little big for me. I think they were going to homecoming, so I can get it here. I can go ahead and resize the thing, but very easily. And I also have a wrap text and a break text option right there too. But you can very easily pull in images. So don't be afraid to do that. You actually have a place you can actually put in little videos. So don't be afraid to add some images and links to your documents as well. So you're going to talk a little bit about yourself there, share it with the class. And then the next powerful thing about Google Documents, and not only just, when I say docs, I'm really kind of referring to like a word processor, but all of Google Documents like spreadsheets, Google Slide sheets, etc. The thing that really kind of separates it from your Office application is the ability to share, and that's what I want you to do in the class here. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see a share button. Notice if I roll across it, it says private to only me. If I click on this button, it gives me the ability to share it with others. And so right here in this box, it says enter names or email addresses. You need to enter the email addresses for the other people in the course, their Google account addresses. Now you can go to your to Moodle, and I'll put the addresses in there, the Google email addresses for your classmates, and you can go ahead and type them in here manually. But what I recommend that you do is you go ahead and go back to, you just open a tab up that has the Moodle, and I'm already logged in, and I went ahead and went to the assignment for what I'm showing here now, create a Google Doc to share with class, and I put all the email addresses. So if you want to, you can just go ahead and highlight, okay, the addresses, right click and do copy, come back then to the tab that has your Google Doc, right click and just do paste, and there you go. All the addresses are right in there. Now, if you look to the right, the default is can edit, and I want you to keep it at that for this assignment. But what's nice is if you don't want someone to go in and change your document, you can just choose can comment, where they can just basically just put a little comment box off to the side panel of your document. Or if you just want them just to view it, you can select that option. Now, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and comment on your classmates' documents, but I want you to keep it at can edit. So that way, if you want to, you can actually go on the document and type some comments. And I'll also show you how you can do a comment as well using this comment option. But can edit basically gives you all access to anything you want to do with the document itself. So leave it as can edit. And if you want to, you can go ahead and click here and add a little note like, hey, please check out my document. Feel free to add content to it. Notice here there's a little box that says notify people with a check mark. That means when I hit send, it's going to send everyone an email. So you're receiving an email from your classmates where they'll have a link to the document that they created that has their name on it. So you can click and very easily go to it. And please read other people's documents, everyone else's, because there's only 4 here in the course. And just go in there and just type a little comment either on the document or use the comment option I'm going to show you here in a second. If you uncheck this box and hit send, they will still have access to your document. They just won't get an email about it. I just think it makes it a whole lot easier. And there's different ways that you can share this document. You don't have to do this, but if I was to hit advance right here, I could click, and here it shows right now that I'm the owner. It shows people I'm getting ready to invite. But right now, obviously, this document's private, only I can access it. But if I click on this blue change button here, I can actually make my document public on the web, okay, where anyone can see it. They can actually go out and do a search, and they put a search on Tim Taylor, they may actually find it that way. If I do this option here, anyone with a link, it means it's not searchable by search engines, but if I give them the link, people will be able to access it. And right now, the default's view, they can only view it. If I should edit, in other words, anyone in the world, if I have this option here, they could find it and edit the document. Okay, so you can really make this wide open if you want. But again, for our purposes, what I want to do is I would just share with just specific people as I had shown you. So I'm not going to hit send here because I'm not going to send you the document I did for myself. But you would hit send, and then everyone will get a nice message, and they'll be able to access the document. And like I said, once you're in here to the person's document, if you have edit access, you'll be able to click in here with your cursor, press enter, and what you'll do is you can start typing anything that you want. And what's nice is it will basically kind of color code when different people are in the document, so you can tell someone else beside the owner done it. So you can click on there and just make comments. Now, another way you can share comments, like I said, is use the comment option. So if I go here into the document and it says, I'm currently the supervisor, a person can come to the document, I can highlight it. And this is something they just added new. Before, you'd have to go up here to the comments button to add a comment. But now when I highlight, the little comment button appears right here. So I can just click and see I can just add a comment right here. Tim, that is interesting. No, that is interesting. I am a check coordinator in my district, as someone might put. And all you do is click on comment, and then that comment will appear on the right hand side. All right, and then when I put a comment, another person can actually go in and reply to the comments that are said there. So again, go in, type directly on the document, insert a comment this way. I just want y'all to collaborate. Again, that's the power of Google Docs, is you can have people collaborating. And again, more than one. I've actually had people, as many as 25 people working on a document before. And what's interesting is you can actually be here at the same time. And if you have like 3 or 4 people in the same document at the same time, you'll still see little icons representing different people. And they can actually all type at the same time. They can't type at the same place. That's what I call cursor wars. But if I was down here and someone else was a little bit below there, you can actually see people typing paragraphs all at the same time. It's pretty neat. Whenever I've done this in live classes, it kind of blows people's minds the first time they see that. All right. The other thing that I mentioned is if you did not check that one box about sending an email, if I go back to my drive right here, notice besides my drive, there's a share with me. If you were to click this right here, if someone shared something recently with you, it will show it right here. So people, you'll start seeing documents with your classmates' names right here if you go to my drive and share it with me. So that's another way that you can access them once it's shared. If you don't use the email option, or if you actually delete the email, it's not going to delete access to the document. Now, once you've shared the document, sometimes people say, well, if I make a change to it, do I got to reshare the document? No. When you make changes, it will automatically save. That's another nice option. It's not like you got to go up to File and save your document. With Google Docs, you'll see right here, as you're typing, it will automatically change and save your document as you're moving along, adding content. So once it's shared, you have to worry about sharing the thing again. So what you need to do then is just go back now and then look in your document, see if people have added any content. And that's one thing people said would be kind of neat is if someone adds content, it'd be neat if somehow you got an email, etc. If you want to share with people that, hey, some content was added, there is an option underneath the file where you can go ahead and email the collaborators and just say, hey, I've added some content. So this here's a nice little shortcut because it automatically will take all the email addresses, people you share with the document, and you can contact them if you want them to check out something on the document. Okay. Another nice little thing, some people say, well, it's kind of scary if I have people making changes on my document. But if I go to File here, there's something called Revision History, and it will actually go through and show all the changes that I've done on a document, not only myself or everyone else. And I can actually go back and then look at previous versions and notice, see, it was blank at 321. And if I want to make it blank again, I can click on Restore this revision. So if someone accidentally deletes something, don't worry. You can go back to this revision history and bring it all of it back. And I've actually had to do that before in a class previously. All right, that's kind of the highlights and kind of the basics now to get through the assignment I have for this week. I'll be giving you some more tips and share some other things here about Google Docs. And real quickly, I guess I want to share this real quick because this is something that's added within the past year. If you go up here to Tools, they now have something called voice typing, which is very neat. If you have a microphone built into your device that you're using, if I click on voice typing, it says just click to speak. But so I can just click this, and once I start talking, you'll see it appear on the document. And I'm going to go ahead and allow it. Hello, everyone. This is Tim Taylor, and this voice typing feature is really neat. Our special ed teachers especially love this option. And some people say, well, will it do punctuation? And it will. If I say period, notice that I actually put a period there after the last word I said. So pretty neat option here. I recommend trying it. I click on the microphone and stop. So notice, it did pretty well. In other words, if I really speak slowly and really enunciate, that does it almost perfectly. But this is a neat tool I've shown with special ed teachers, and they really love this for some of their students that have some motor skill issues when it comes to typing, etc. All right, video's got a little longer than I wanted it to, but hopefully you've learned a few things here. Everyone take care, and we'll be talking and showing videos with you later.